Okay, this is the full New Game Plus speedrun tutorial for Ratchet and Clank. I'm going to go through as many skips and explanations as I can that have been updated in the last few years or so. So the first thing you want to do is get a file that you've completed the game on so you can do challenge mode. And I'll explain in more detail which guns you should set up in your quick select. So let's go ahead and start the game. Challenge mode, hit normal. And then this is where you'd start the timer right when you hit X here. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to skip the first cutscene. And to do that, you just drag the options button to the big middle button in your PlayStation controller. Easy. And while the screen is still black, you can actually move forward towards this screw. And I just do a wrench cancel jump, which I'll explain in a bit, and then hit square to start turning this. But as you hit square, you also hit pause, go up into extras, into cheats, and since you've if you've unlocked all gold bolts in your file, which is 28 of them, you're gonna unlock all these different cheats. So this is what we use in New Game Plus. In order to do the game as fast as possible. So we're going to want to switch to invincibility, infinite ammo, and game speed to fast. Okay, game speed to fast allows us to move faster, to jump higher, and is overall a better and quicker experience for doing some tricks. Okay, so once that's done, you hit start to go back, and then you turn this screw. Okay, before I go any further, I'm just going to go over the quick select, how I have it set up. Once this dialogue is done. Okay. So I have, up at the top, I have Plasma Striker. I don't suggest actually starting with that. I would suggest starting with your Proto Class. Okay, and then you also, all these guns should be fully upgraded, by the way. So you have Proto Class, then you have Sheepinator on the right, then down you have Peacemaker, and then left you have the Rhino. You can have these in any order you want on your quick select, but this is how I prefer. Okay, let's go back to the Pratt. And the reason why I have a Plasma Striker is because it's ever so slightly faster to use it on the second part of Veldin, or this planet. Okay, so I'm going to explain some basic movements. All right, so the first basic movement and most optimal movement before you get the heli pack is wrench cancel jumps. Okay, so what a wrench cancel jump is essentially just jumping during a wrench swing. So there's a wrench swing, hit square. But you can hit X to jump during it, okay? And the best way I found to do this is to just drag your thumb from square to X, okay? You don't even need to press forward on the stick. You just go. But obviously, it's good to press forward on the joystick. And the timing of this can be a little bit difficult, but basically you want to hit square like the second Ratchet touches the ground to get good wrench cancels. Okay, and then sometimes if you have the camera downwards, it's a bit easier. So that just comes with practice. Okay, and then you can also get boosted wrench cancel jumps off of different monsters or enemies or boxes. So if I could do this one, see how that was just like a slightly bigger one? You can get some really, really long wrench cancel jumps. But again, that takes time and practice to get that down. It's all about positioning and how close you are to the enemy. Okay, another little movement here is a hyper strike. So a hyper strike is when you hit square in the air to swing your wrench downwards. See how it's quick? But you can actually hold down X on a double jump to get an extended hyper strike. So if I don't hold on X, see how that's fast, right? But if I do hold on X, you go up a little bit higher and it's a little bit slower. And it allows you to do some extra tricks that you otherwise couldn't. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is double jump across this gap from this rock to that rock. And so it's about timing your double jump and then holding X to do an extended hyper strike. And this jump is pretty easy. You actually don't even need to do an extended hyper strike. You can just do a regular hyper strike without holding X. But I'll show it to you with an extended one. So you just jump, and then hold X and do a hyper strike. Okay. And then you're gonna want to just wrench cancel past these enemies. Come up here, do the same, and go over here. So there's two ways to do this next part. I'm going to show you the best way, and then I'll come back down and show you another way to do it. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to come over here and you want to get into these boxes. There's a little part where you can sizzle, right? You hold X once you're in those boxes and you point in this direction, and you should be able to come up here. And then from here, you just double jump over these rocks, and then you go across and do another jump, which I'll explain in a bit. Another way to get up here, in which sometimes these frogs will hit these boxes, and this is a bit easier. But you want to come into here, hold X to sizzle up, and then come up over here, and just jump over here, and then you can do a double jump across this gap as well, okay? So again, I recommend doing the boxes. It's not hard, but just in case, there's that other way to do it as well, okay? So you're going to double jump across here, and I like to do a wrench cancel jump around this little area here, but it's up to you. And I like to have the camera pointed slightly downwards as well. So you just jump that way, and then come over here. So for this jump, you want to jump from like right about the edge of this rock to right over, about over here. And the timing of this is a bit difficult. It's not too bad. It just takes some time to practice. So you're going to want to double jump, and you need to do an extended hyper strike here. So you need to hold X while you do it. And I do this, and I don't recommend this if you're a beginner, but I do it with the camera pointed downwards over like this, and then just double jump across, and then hold, do the extended hyper strike, and then you should be able to make it. If you're first starting out, I would aim upwards and jump that way, but that's just how actually it's easiest for me to do it. Okay. And again, that one's about timing your double jump, and then doing the extended hyper strike is actually might be a bit earlier than you'd expect, but with some practice, that's not too bad. Okay. So the next part here is you want to come over here and jump on this tree branch, and then you're going to want to double jump from this tree to a platform down over here. So you want to do double jump and slightly come to the right, so you land here. And you want to do another double jump, which will sizzle you up to this platform. Another thing to mention about sizzles is that since it's in New Game Plus, you don't take any damage, and you can do up to 3 sizzles on objects, where if you're just doing any percent or just a regular New Game, you can only do 1 sizzle before you die. Okay, so we're just going to jump here, hold X to sizzle, and then come up here. And what I like to do is I'll do a wrench cancel jump down to here, this ledge here, and then you do a double jump, hyper strike to jump from there. But that's the hardest way to do it. So I recommend if you are going to do this jump and you're trying out for the first time, is kind of go like this, line it up, and just make sure you double jump from this edge down to that platform below. Okay. And the 2 main things I would suggest with this jump is to almost get a full double jump as and really extend the time between them, and then also move your index finger around so you can actually control the camera and look downwards, because that's huge. Otherwise, if you don't want to do this jump, you don't feel comfortable with it yet, you can come around this way and come up to around this vertical shadow, which I like to do it. You can also do it from here. But if you come up to this vertical shadow and jump outwards, back in, and then do an extended hyper strike, just get it like that, you can come up here, and you can do another one here, and then you can just jump from up here down below. Okay. And then again, you want to move the camera downwards as you jump so you can see, and then you can do another hyper strike downwards. But I'm going to show you, hopefully I get it. I'm going to show you how I do it. So I just come up like that, do a jump like that, and then do a double jump, point the camera downwards, and then hyper strike. So that was that one right there. I was a little bit early, and I didn't get as far enough, so I did do a sizzle, but otherwise, I mean, I still made it. And the next thing you want to do is shoot this dropship with your Peacemaker. I'm going to do that. And then once that happens, once you see that checkpoint up at the top there, return to the garage, you're going to want to change difficulty. Okay. So I'm going to go to options, game options. I'm going to go to casual. And once you do that, you're going to load checkpoint at Veldin at night. And then, so here is where we're going to use either the Protoclast, the Peacemaker, or the Plasma Striker to damage the enemies. Okay, so I'm going to actually switch to Protoclast just to show you, because it's easiest and probably the best method for starting out. Okay, so you just want to swing shot over here. And what I like to do if I'm using the Protoclast is do a wrench cancel jump once and then shoot the Protoclast about like here. Okay, because what happens is the first enemy you kill over here will spawn another dropship. Okay, so you want to kill one of those enemies pretty quickly. So if you throw the Protoclast, they'll die pretty quickly. And then you're going to want to sheepinate the dropship as it comes closer and destroy the rest of these enemies. Okay, and then I already have another video explaining the Veldin dialogue skip, but I'll just explain it really quickly. What happens is Ratchet will say the word listen, and you want to aim over the hills and throw the protoclast, and then do some other movement, which I'll explain as I get closer. So anyways, I'm coming here. I want to throw the protoclast, keep moving, and the protoclast should take out those enemies. You can take out the Peacemaker too if you want and shoot him, but here I have the Sheepinator, and you want to Sheepinate the ship, and then boom, you're done. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it with the Plasma Striker as well. So as you come in here, you want to take 3 wrench cancel jumps, do the Plasma Striker, and shoot him. And that was a bit slow. Then switch to your Peacemaker. You want to shoot it here, and then switch to your Sheepinator to get that. And then what I also do is go back to the Peacemaker and shoot these guys. All right. And I switch my Plasma Striker out for the Protoclast. Go up in here, shoot after he says listen. Come back over here, stand here, move after interesting. You should get the dialogue skipped. Boom. Okay. Okay, then you want to skip the cutscene to Novalis. And right as we land on Novalis, we're going to switch the difficulty to normal. Okay. And you want to press start or options right when he starts talking around there. I kind of spam it a little bit. Go into options, game options, go from casual to normal, and then go from there. Okay, and right away you want to start wrench canceling to the right, because we're going to go up to the plumber. Okay, jump over here, jump, wrench cancel up here. Wait for those platforms to fall, because it can be a bit slow. And you want to do an extended hyperstrike from that platform up to here. Okay, you can just wrench cancel back over here, go up here. Okay, keep going this way. Usually be a little quick, so you don't have to do the don't do the ledge grab there. Also, make sure you equip your Peacemakers anywhere in between when you start the planet up to here, because what you want to do is right as you go into this door, you want to shoot your Peacemaker to remove the blarg there, and then use the wrench to turn this screw. Okay. All right. So there's 2 methods here to get to the plumber. The plumber is past this doorway. We could also only get past this doorway if we turn this screw, okay? So I'm going to show you the easy way to do it. You want to come over here. You can either double jump up here and then double jump up there, or you can do a double jump extended hyperstrike up there like this. I personally just like doing a double jump to double jump, but it's up to you. And you want to double jump up here as well. And then from here, you want to do another double jump, and then you can either do a ledge grab or an extended hyperstrike. Okay, so that's not too bad. In terms of camera, I just like to have the camera kind of like facing like this, and you can just move sideways and get this pretty easily without moving the camera, and just come up to this door. All right. The other way of doing it, which I don't really recommend unless you need to save like 2.5 seconds, is doing the sizzle off of this little thing here. And the way to do that is you come up here, double jump, and then you're gonna jump from here. I like having the camera kind of like this. All right, and you double jump and you come into here, and it's a bit finicky to get. Okay, and you want to basically aim for that, kind of like that line on the wall. Okay, and then you get the sizzle. You hold X, and then as you're holding, like right before you're gonna sizzle, you want to either move left or right to come around one of these 2 sides. Again, I don't really recommend this because it is a lot more difficult than just coming up that way and double jumping over here. Okay, as we get to the plumber. You just skip these 3 cutscenes. So I just spam options like right after he stops talking. Spam the options to, I don't even know what that button's called, but the big one in the middle of the controller. Okay. And then as you come down the water slide, I kind of stick to the right because it's slightly faster. But then before you exit the main tube, I try to center myself again, right? So I'll stick to the right as we go down. But after like this turn here, we move back to the middle and just let go of all the controls and just let them slide all the way down. Okay. Then from here, we do some wrench cancels down to the bottom, and we're just going to go to the bridge. Okay. So if you're lucky and you time things right, you can get some good extended wrench cancels. But yeah, we're going to shoot these guys as we come around this corner, and then just keep wrench canceling. Then as we get to here, we're going to trigger a cutscene, but we're going to want to pause right at the beginning of that cutscene, go to options, change the difficulty from normal to hard. Okay, and then once we do this, we're going to be spawned right before the bridge again, and we're going to want to get past that bridge as quick as possible. And then we're going to want to shoot 2 to 3 robots that come flying in from the top left. And once you shoot about 2 to 3 peacemakers, then you're going to want to switch to your protoclast, shoot to the right of the mayor ship, shoot to the left of the mayor ship, equip your rhino, shoot up at the drop ship, and then I just equip my peacemaker and shoot just to make sure everything's killed. Okay, I'll go through that now. All right, so just keep wrench canceling here. Okay, don't do that. Okay, now you want to shoot these guys. Here, I just aim up to there. Switch to the protoclast. Okay, and this is a bit slow, but basically you could get some of the dialogue could be skipped. So as long as you have a protoclast there, and use the rhino to take out the dropship, you should be good. Okay, but that again, that was a bit slow because you want to shoot those robots quick enough, and just kind of aim for that rock up there, and then just keep coming this way. Again, protoclast to the right there, protoclast right there. Switch to your rhino, shoot up there, and then I just usually just do a couple of peacemaker shots. Okay. And after the cutscene, at some point this button's going to turn from red to green. The timing is kind of subjective in terms of how you want to do the timing. I do an audio cue, but essentially you can. It's not too hard. You just kind of want to jump on it. And then open up here, come up this way, and then you can either take the elevator or you can come up these rocks. The rocks is I double jump to here, do a double jump up to this area, come up to this grassy area, and then do a double jump up here, and then another double jump, and you'll trigger the cutscene and you'll exit Novalis. Okay, and then we're going to go on to Kerwan. So what you can do is you can actually switch your planet before this menu shows up. And the timing is just takes a little bit to get down, but basically you want to do is you want to hit down and then X to go to Kerwan. Okay, so pretending we're just got on the ship, down X Kerwan.
We're too late.
Okay, so you're forced to watch this cutscene. You can't skip it. But basically what you're going to want to do at the beginning is turn left, and after just maybe a second or half a second, you want to start boosting with X. And then boost towards the first, in between 2 buildings, and then right after you boost, you want to hold R2 to shoot. All right, so I'll show you. So hold left, and boost as you start turning, and then right about here, you start shooting. Just hold R2, shoot that guy, come up here. And what I like to do is I like to do a barrel roll to the right about here as I hit that area. And then what I do is I'm holding boost still, and then I stop holding boost when I see the pillar of that building, when I see my ship cross the pillar of that building, like the right wing of my ship. So you can see the pillar of that building in the right side of the screen. I'll go and stop like right about there. And then I'm going to start shooting at this green area just to slow down just a bit, and then turn downwards and start shooting the transports. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can come over here. You can do a barrel roll if you want, but then you kill this last one. Okay, the second you shoot that last one down, you come into options. You go from hard to normal. Okay, and that's going to trigger the new scene with this big ship, the warship. Okay, so you want to come over here and you're going to pick up some warbots. Okay, and what you want to do is hold down triangle and X at the same time and boost. Okay, so what I did there was I actually used the claw method to use my right index finger to hold down triangle, to tap triangle a bunch, but you need to hold down triangles more at the beginning because it slows you down, and then tap it. And you're holding X with your thumb the whole time. Okay, you kind of come up here and you're going to use L2 to shoot. You can't shoot it until you're close enough, but I just kind of tap L2 a bit. Once you shoot it, you come down here, hold triangle again with your index finger to pick up these guys, come up here and shoot them again, and then do a barrel roll to the left, and then come up here and do another barrel roll to the left, even though you're facing towards that wall, and then shoot them one more time. And then you're done with that part. And you want to skip that cutscene. Okay, so here, you want to equip your peacemaker. You can get an extra boost off those boxes if you're positioned right. Come down here, and we're going to skip this section by clearing out some enemies down below. You're just going to come this way. Make sure your peacemaker is equipped. And you're going to want to stand right about here. Shoot the peacemaker right about here so they're all gone. Switch to your protoclast, and then shoot anywhere like in this vicinity, like slightly to the left of this button. so you can press this button and trigger the cutscene with OW. Okay, you can also throw the protoclast like earlier, like here, and then do it again, but I like using the peacemaker like that and then throwing it. Okay, and then we can throw it like right about here or so. And boom, you hit the button, we trigger a cutscene, and now we have the heli pack. Okay, so here we come up, and we're gonna skip a little section. So you're gonna want to do a wrench cancel high jump, which now I actually should explain that a little bit. To pretty much enforce yourself to do a high jump in the heli pack, you're gonna want to swing your wrench in the same way you're gonna do a wrench cancel, but instead of hitting X, you hit R1 to do a high jump. Okay, because otherwise, if you don't hit wrench, you could do a long jump. Okay. So that's what I do here. So I do a jump, double jump, do a wrench cancel high jump, and then up here. Okay, once you're right here, there's an invisible platform that you need to jump on, like right here. And this getting up to this platform can be a little bit difficult if you don't really know where it is. One thing I suggest is kind of approaching it from the left and moving slightly to the right can sometimes be good if you don't really know exactly where it is. But yeah, this one just takes a bit of practice. See like how Ratchet kind of like moves a bit there if you're not sure where to go, but that's fine. So once you hit that platform, you want to hit R1 again to do another high jump and come over that way. Okay, you can actually do a long jump there as well if you time it right, but it is a bit finicky. See a long jump like that, but the long jump you need to land kind of like in that area. It is pretty tough to do. It saves only about a second. But if you are looking to get first cycle on later on in the fitness course, then I do recommend eventually, like once you really need to save time, trying for the long jump because it's not too bad. But I definitely say take your time, make sure you get up to that invis platform, and then do a high jump. In terms of trying to find this invis platform, I kind of stand here or so, and it's usually like right above it. Okay, that was bad. Like right about there. It just takes some time to get used to, and if you're going fast, it can like coming down again. Going from the left to the right is honestly the easiest way to do it. All right, so you want to come over here. These guys won't actually spawn if you do that quick enough, and you're going to shoot your peacemaker at those guys on the little elevator, and you want to high jump right after that. Let's see if I can explain it. You want to do a high jump right here where I'm aiming at, right after that first blue arrow on the second set of them. So you wait for that one, right here. Okay, and then what I do is I just long jump up to these ammo boxes, and once I'm there, I shoot some enemies to get them out of my way. And if you stick on this left-hand side, then the enemies won't be able to get you up until you leave this area, so I just shoot once there. Okay, and then come over here, and then we're going to do the train skip. So if you're going to play the game normally, you go through the train and you do that whole segment. But I highly recommend doing the train skip. I have a whole tutorial on it, but I can slightly explain it a bit here. But as you come across here, this actual other train isn't going to move until you actually go over there. So like it doesn't really matter in terms of how quickly you get to here in terms of actually getting the train skip. But we're going to want to use a swing shot and then jump up into this area and then jump backwards back to this train. Okay. Jump back, and that was a bit slow, but that's okay. You can still come up here, wait here for, and then do a high jump. And again, I have a video on this that I recommend watching. You're gonna hover up to this pyramid, and then there's 4 different sections that you come up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you want to tap R1 as fast as possible, or not too fast, but good enough to get a boost up. And you gotta come over here, and then you do an extended hyper strike right about here, and then you should make it to the fitness course. Again, I know that wasn't a great explanation, but basically you need you keep the train's momentum when you jump off of it, and the reason why you wait as long on the pyramid, so that once this train comes around this corner here, that's when you get the fastest momentum down to the fitness course. Okay, that one takes a bit of time to get. All right, so as you come over here, we're going to jump on this little screw here, and we're going to do a high jump up to here. Okay, so now at the fitness course, we want to obviously get from this side to the other side. There's a couple ways of doing this. As you're here, you can either go from this light up to here, which I'll show you, So you come up here, you can go like this, like, oh, okay, if I can actually do this right. I actually don't do this way, and I don't necessarily recommend it, but it is a bit easier than the other way. Okay, come up here. If you land here, you can come up like this, and then do a long jump, and then you can swing shot there. But what I like to do is come up here, do a high jump to this one, and then do another high jump, and then you can use the swing shot there. If you don't feel comfortable with either of those methods, you can just go around and come up to the right side, and it's still fairly quick. Okay, so as you're coming down here, you're gonna want to wrench cancel high jump just to keep your momentum up here. Do another, I do another wrench cancel high jump here. Double jump onto this box and do a regular high jump. Come out a bit and then land up there. Okay, come out a bit, land right here. And then as you do this high jump, you're gonna want to come out so you avoid hitting this flag. So if I don't come out, I'll just hit the flag. So you want to come out like that and come up to here. And once we're here, you can do a double jump to come up, and then you want to start by jumping on the right side of these walls. Like just do a single jump, and then you just all you do is hit X here. You don't even hit anything else. You can do a long jump to a wrench cancel there. If you get a good enough wrench cancel like that, you could hover all the way down there. Otherwise, you can just jump from here. Hover down, do a long jump onto these boxes, come up here, and then I just do a long jump into a hyper strike into the taxi, and then take the taxi back. Okay, then you're going to want a long jump over here, trigger these cutscenes. You have to skip 2 of them. Go to the ship, and then you're going to want to go down to Aridia. Okay, just like that. Alright, so now I'm going to teach the ship animation skip, so we can actually skip the whole animation from Ratchet coming out of the ship. So what you want to do is go into your sounds devices, turn off device, and turn off your controller. And the second you see the ship coming back, or the load screen done, you want to turn on your controller by holding down the PlayStation button. Come into extras, go into cheats, you need to change the game speed back to normal, and come back, go into options, and then in Aridia, you can either play it on casual or hard. Either one's fine. I'm going to go to hard. Doesn't matter. And then hit start to go back. And then you get a little loading screen, but you skip the whole animation and you start right here. Okay, so you're gonna want to long jump this way. On this long jump, I like to get the long jump right about here. So you can time this one and then get another long jump. And if you do a wrench cancel jump here, you can get kind of a boost, but now it's a bit late because there's a bunch of guys around. Do a wrench cancel high jump up to here. Okay, so at this point, there's 2 different routes that I like to do. I'll show you the easy one first. So you can do a long jump to here. Just use these swing shots. Here. Okay, so this one is a slower method, but it's easier and I recommend doing it, especially if you're a beginner. So you want to do a high jump up to here. Aim for about kind of this area. You can see I'm like barely on it. And then from here, you're going to want to do a high jump to our extended hyper strike up to there. Okay, and when you do the high jump, you want to come out a bit, come back in, and then, of course, I messed it up. Let's do it again. So you want to jump like here, come up, hyper strike up to there. And then from here, we can do a wrench cancel high jump to a long jump. We want to double jump here. You can do another wrench cancel high jump, and high jump up to this ledge, and then another high jump to a long jump, and then up here is where we get the debug trigger to essentially just get all the checkpoints of the planet, and then we're done with Aridia. It's very simple. I don't know why they left us in here, but it's kind of nice. All right, I'm going to show you the slightly quicker way. I think it's like a 5-second time save, and I don't really recommend this unless you need the time save. So instead of using the swing shots, you can come over this way, do a wrench cancel high jump like right about here. Come into here, and then you're going to want to do a double jump, but like your first jump should be outside to the right, otherwise you're going to hit some invisible walls. So you want to come out like this way and jump up to here, do another double jump, and then this is where you need to do a double sizzle, or at least one sizzle. So you want to sizzle from here up to this pole here. Okay, and what I like to do, so you're going to want to hold X while you do it, and then from this pole you're going to jump up to these poles up there. Okay, So what I do is I keep the camera angle here and do a double jump, hold X, move it left, and then see how you want to hold X the whole time and then land up there, and you can do essentially a double sizzle up to here, then do a high jump, another high jump, and then once you land here, you can do a double jump up to here. Just make sure you don't run too forwards or you're going to fall into there. Okay, and then from here, I do a wrench cancel high jump up to this ledge, another high jump, and then the same process up to here. So it's a little bit quicker. It's actually pretty fun, but again, I don't recommend it unless you need it. So you hit triangle to do the trigger, and then you just come down to your ship. And then you're off to the next planet, which is Nebula. So it's just down one, hit X. Okay, so once again, we're going to do the ship animation skip. So turn off your device. Wait for the loading screen to be done. Turn it on real quick. Okay, go into extras, cheats, gain speed fast. Come back, go into from hard to normal or casual to normal. As long as you start Gaspar on normal, you should be good. And then hit start. You want to hold right away and hit R1 to long jump. You want to come over this way. Okay, so once we're here, we can hit triangle to trigger the next cutscene. But what I like to do is hold triangle, place my thumb over triangle and place my right index finger over the options button. And you basically want to press triangle to options quick. It's almost, if you're a drummer, it's like a flam, I believe the terminology is. But basically you want to do it like really quick, like triangle options button. So that way it's very quick. All right, so triangle options, come over to options and go to casual difficulty. And that will spawn you to the next area. And then you want to equip your Peacemaker. Okay, if you don't get that cutscene skip is fine. You can press start after it's started already. Just make sure you're on casual for the Snagglebeast fight, okay? So here we're going to clip through the wall. What I like to do is do a single jump on here to a double jump right here, okay? And then from here, the easiest way to do it is just to do a high jump. Do a high jump, come out a little bit, and then, oh, I messed that up, of course. Come out like that, and then just hold R1 and just come up upwards. And then you're gonna hit the floor, and once you do that, you're just gonna double jump and come out, double jump and hold backwards to come outwards. Okay, so I'll do that again. Once again, come over here. You're gonna use the Peacemaker to just destroy these enemies. It doesn't really matter, but just gets them out of the way. Okay, and then I also switched to my Rhino, but I'm gonna switch to it again. So again, right here, high jump, come up here, and then you're gonna want to wait, and then hit X right, do a double jump right there. Okay. Double jump over here because this has a weird, a slightly higher height than it shows. And then I do some long jumps up until this edge here. Okay. So do another one. And then once you're about right here, you can do a wrench cancel double jump or just a regular double jump up to about right here. You don't want to go too far forward or you'll fall through. And then from here, you just keep doing long jumps. This area here also has an area where you can fall through. So what I do is I do a long jump and then I expect Ratchet to hit an invisible wall and just fall down from it like that. I mean, if you want to be careful, you can just double jump over it. It's fine. And you want to come over here. And there is an invisible platform a bit after you walk past this. And you're just going to want to... The easiest way to do this is just to do a wrench cancel high jump like this. Come over this way. Okay, and then move. You're going to move to about like right here because you're going to want to high jump up to this area. Okay, you can do like a wrench cancel jump just to get a little bit extra movement. You don't have to do one at all if you land a little bit closer. So again, I'm going to do a wrench cancel high jump, come over this way. Land about somewhere right here. I'm going to aim my long jump for about this area. Okay, like right there. All right, so when I do my long jump, and you can do that. Yeah, so you can do it that way too. You can aim for either this area here, or you can aim for the area below it. If you do come down a little bit, it's fine. Just jump out and then back in. As long as you end up like around this area, you're fine. Okay, and then once I'm here, I also switch back to my Rhino to make sure it's equipped. And then I do a long jump here, and then another long jump down there. It's also probably worth noting that instead of doing a long jump from that area from before to get to here, you can also do a high jump from that area, and it is slightly easier. And then the high jump here, wrench cancel high jump over here and then do another one here. Okay, so we can do a high jump instead, which is a lot easier to position yourself, right? And then come over here. So I do recommend the long jump because it's quicker, but if you're having troubles, then the high jump is fine. All right, so then we're gonna trigger the Snagglebeast cutscene by landing slightly to the, to the left of that circular door. Okay, and just come forwards a bit and you should trigger the cutscene. Like, you don't want to come too far though because you hit the lava, so like right about there. Okay, so that takes a little bit of getting used to where you're actually going to trigger the cutscene. And then you want to skip it, obviously. And then we're going to fight the Snagglebeast. So the first thing you want to do is what I do. And again, this could vary for different people, but I hold L2 to strafe and hold left. And I also wait just a little bit and tap on R2 to shoot the rhino because you could get a burst. And I also kind of aim slightly to the right of him because what you want to do is you don't want to shoot him too fast because he'll just charge right away. You want to shoot him down to 35%, but also make him come up and then back down before he charges. And then right as you get him to 35%, you want to switch to your sheepinator and sheepinate him before he gets into the lava. Okay, so it's not hard. It just takes a little bit of understanding of what to do. So once I skip this cutscene, I'll show you. I'm going to strafe, shoot. He's going to come up once and then come up again and gives me time enough to sheepinate him. And he should be sheepinated before he hits the lava, and then you're done. Okay, and the reason why you sheepinate him is because you can't actually do any more damage with the other weapons after 35% without him going to the next cycle. And then you come over here and you hit triangle to trigger this cutscene. And you can't skip it. Okay, after that's done, you just come back to your ship. And we're going to go to Gaspar. Gaspar is actually 2 down, so it's you just need to make sure that you hit down twice. And let's go to Gaspar. Alright, so Gaspar, we're going to do the ship animation skip again, so turn off your device. And then turn it back on once it's unloading. Go to extras, change to fast. So if you do that quick enough and you hit circle to go back, you only have to hit circle once, which I just did. Back to the main menu, go to options, go from casual to normal. We need to start Gaspar on normal difficulty. I guess we don't have to, but it's the best, quickest way. Okay, so there's a couple routes to the brain scientist that you can go. I'll show you the first route, which is easier, and which one I recommend. So you want to come over this way. I do a wrench cancel to a long jump, to another long jump, to a long jump. And then you're going to want to hold X on the first sizzle. And then you don't have to hold X on the next 2. And I like to shoot my Peacemaker at those birds here. Okay, get out of here. And then you can do a long jump from about like right here. Or right here, depending on if you want to get, you can actually get on top of this guy and do a long jump from it. Or you can just do 3 sizzles up into this area that I'm pointing at. So I'll show you the long jump. You hold X to jump upwards and then another, you can do a high jump or a long jump there. I just kind of spam R1 once I hit that section. All right, so I'll do it again. See, that time was a long jump. If you kind of aim more towards the left, you can do a long jump. And that's the quickest way to get to this point. All right, and then from here, you just kind of go through long jump, long jump, long jump. And then you want to do another long jump off this rock. And then you hold X for the first sizzle, and then you don't have to hold X for the rest of the sizzles. Okay, I'm just going to die here to show you the other way. And you want to land on that platform. Okay, the other way to do it is to long jump over this way. And this way only saves 1.5 seconds. And I don't really recommend it. But then you want to long jump off here. Hold X for your first sizzle to get more distance, not for your second one. And then sometimes you get a sizzle there, sometimes you get an invisible platform. Either way though, you want to end up being about right here. Do a long jump and get a sizzle without holding X. And then you're going to want to jump. You can either jump in between this tree and the rock, which is a bit finicky sometimes, or you can just go around it. But if you jump between the rock and that tree, land here, do another jump, land here, and then do another jump, and then you can just jump from here. And that's the same thing. You hold X once, then you do 2 short sizzles, and you're good. Okay? So the next section is to get from here to the brain scientist, which is right there. Okay? And what you're going to want to do, usually, you know, you don't need to kill those guys to open the bridge, but you can jump off. I usually like jump where this little vertical pole is. Okay, get out of here. Okay? And then, because if you jump too far to the right, you can essentially soft lock the game because I don't know exactly why, but you just need to make sure that he starts talking before you move to the right. So I jump from here, he starts talking, then you can hold X to do a sizzle. Then as you're jumping towards him, just shoot that that little egg that's holding the telepathicus brain. Okay. So here's we're going to start collecting all the brains. So we need to collect 30 in total, but we're only going to collect 10 before we come back to the brain scientist. So the first one should already be waiting for us. You just do a long jump. Boom, you have it. Next, you do a long jump down here. You can shoot it. Okay, usually you don't get the sizzle there, but you can like long jump from here. And then from here, I usually do like a wrench cancel just to position myself a little better. And come over here and then shoot this one. Come up this way, shoot this one, and as I'm shooting it, I hold L2 just to aim a little better, and then hit R2, and then jump this way. Okay, the next thing you want to do is long jump from here. I don't hold X, then I hold X, I get a long sizzle, and then I can long jump from here, hold X, and then position myself like right about here and do a long jump, or in that case that was a high jump, but a long jump like that, and then now I can get these brains here. Oh, another thing too that I forgot to mention is I like to switch to my Rhino before I do any jumps over here, and that's why it's a bit easier to shoot that, come this way, shoot that, and then you're definitely going to want your Rhino to shoot this telepathicus, kill him, and the second you kill him, you're going to actually register getting the brains. So at that point you should have 10 brains, and then come back and go to casual. That's going to spawn you back at the brain scientist, and then we're going to start getting 20 more brains. And using the jetpack. So we're gonna wrench cancel jump to the jetpack, get it, and then we're gonna shoot down this telepathicus. The second we shoot it down, we can come up over here, get this brain, come up over to the left to get this brain. You don't need to go too close to it to grab it. Okay, so you should have 7 before you hit the button. Okay, like that, and then hit these 3 buttons. And when you hit this one, fly this way and just kill this guy. Keep flying this way, shoot this one. Now you can shoot this one and kind of make sure you grab it, and then come up here. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can just follow the movements. Okay, so usually, if you do that right, you actually have enough jet fuel to make it to that platform, but I didn't at that point. Shoot down that one, and then, so this telepathicus usually would be in a good position, like kind of closer to these brains here. And then once you get 20, which again, you don't need to wait for the brains from the telepathicus to reach you to get 20. You're going to do another difficulty change back to normal. And once we're here, we're going to skip a bunch of cutscenes. So just keep spamming it, and then hold L1 and hit triangle to go to this platform. And then we're going to go this way to get the grind boots. So you're going to hold L1. You can actually refill your jetpack without standing on it. So if you get like that height, you should be good. But ultimately, it doesn't save much time. So you're going to shoot 2 protoclasts here, go all the way to this door to spawn the enemies. You can switch to your peacemaker to start shooting. You want to shoot those 2 up there, shoot the ship, shoot that guy to the right, and then 2 other guys should spawn here. Just shoot them, and then hover over the grind rail like this, then drop, and you should be able to skip that cutscene. Okay? Because basically you're going to overwrite the cutscene with a dialogue skip as long as you're hovering over this railing, and you're not too close to it. You kind of want to be like above this pole here. And just you can just even hold it until the cutscene starts, and it will drop you. And then you want to hit these 3 buttons, and usually you should have enough jet fuel to get back, and you just want to go back to your ship. I'm kind of running out here, but that's all right. And you want to come, and I usually start my ship from right here, and then we're gonna want to go up 1 planet to Rilgar, so you can see like that. Okay. We're gonna do the ship animation skip again, and we need to go on casual difficulty here. Okay, casual, and the reason why is because we need enough air while we're underwater to make it to the cutscene. Okay, so right away we're just gonna long jump to the left. And again, I do have a tutorial video on this, but we're gonna come over here, and the second we land here, we're gonna do a wrench cancel high jump. And we're going to load that swing shot into Ratchet, essentially. Because what happens here is we load the swing shot from this one, but once we load it, we can use it on this swing shot. So I'll show you, right? So if I do a wrench cancel high jump here, I spam circle like I would be using the swing shot, you see Ratchet's wrench glows. And the reason why it glows is because it's a wrench cancel high jump, and if you hold hover, he can't actually hit the swing shot, but it loads it into his wrench instead. So if I come back here, while this one's open, he actually goes for the other one, see? Okay? So what I do is here, is once I land here, is I turn the camera, come towards it, and if my wrench glows, I know I've loaded it. And I like to have the camera angle just like around about here or so, and then do a long jump off here. And once this swing shot leaves your view or field of vision at the top, and it's a slightly after, then that's when I hit circle to grab the other swing shot so I can clip underneath, okay? And if you do it too late, you'll fall in the water. If you do it too early, you'll miss the clip. We'll see if I can get it here. So we do long jump and do it now. That was good. And now we clip under. And we get to this rock here. We're underneath the pipe now. Don't land in there, or you're going to have to change your difficulty and restart. You can do jumps. You can do a long jump here. I'm just going to do a long jump, come into here. If you fall down here, that's okay. You can come back up with a sizzle. But you want to come around this way and do a dive underneath here, okay? Once you dive here, you're going to want to swim up and take a breath here. So right after here, you're going to want to press X to go underneath again. And then you're going to want to start coming up right after like those two pulls there. And you're going to need to move your fingers around to make sure you get the right camera angle. But essentially just go like this and start going up. So my right thumb is actually on my right joystick to make sure that the camera angle is right. And as long as you come up here quick enough, you should trigger the cutscene like that. Okay, and you can do a difficulty change. You'll be back at your ship. Do a couple long jumps, and then you should be back at your ship. And then boom, that's it. You're done with Rilgar. Okay, so next one, you're going to want to go from Rilgar down to Batalia. In Batalia, we're going to do the ship animation skip again, and we're going to go to hard difficulty. Just like that. And right away, we're going to hold left and do a long jump. Double jump up to the wing, another jump, and then a wrench cancel high jump up to this flag, and then do a double jump up here. Okay, so I'll go through that again, but slower. All right, so we're going to do a long jump, double jump up to your wing, jump up here, and then do a wrench cancel high jump up to this flag. But really, the second you hit that flag, you do want to do the double jump because it's kind of hard to stay on that flag. Sometimes it's a bit hard to actually aim where you're going to aim, but I usually aim for like around this area. Strangely enough, it's like easier to get it if you start right at the beginning. Basically right there, you do a double jump up to here. You can get a sizzle off it as well sometimes, but I would just plan for the double jump. And then make sure you don't land like in that corner there, because otherwise Ratchet will start breakdancing and you're going to have to do a change difficulty to get him out of it. And then as you're coming over here, we're going to want to jump from here to right about there. Okay? And the goal of this is to get to the cannon. And the best way to do this is to, for me anyways, kind of you want to jump like right, like off the ledge about here, right? But I do a wrench canceled high jump, which should lead to a ledge high jump. So if you get the wrench cancel high jump without actually swinging your wrench, you know you're probably pretty good. So you're just gonna go like that. And I actually pressed square to swing my wrench, but it didn't happen because I timed it right. And you're gonna want to land right over this shadow here, that shadowy area. Because if you're too short, like you will fall and die. Okay. So after you're here, I just come up here and do past the snowman. Come down here, and at this area, do another wrench cancel high jump and aim for this area on the rock. And if you hold R1, you should just hover up. Do a high jump to the right a bit, a double jump, and then trigger the checkpoint. So you can see the destroy the battleship checkpoint. Once you trigger that checkpoint, come up in the options, go into casual, because that's the best way to do the turret or cannon is on casual. Hold up and to the left on the joystick and hit R1. So you go like that. And I do a wrench cancel to the trespasser. And then you can just spam square and X at the same time with your thumb to automatically do the auto hack. Okay. Once this is done, you just kind of long jump up here and then hit triangle to start the cannon. And what I do actually is hold R2 and circle. And it just gives me a little bit of extra confidence. It's completely placebo effect. But so either way, R2 or circle you can use to shoot the cannons. If you start moving the turret or the cannons too fast, it'll glitch out a bit and it'll be a bit inaccurate to actually aim for the ships. Basically what happens here is you have a gauge of 7, and every time you shoot down a ship, your gauge fills. But the timing between shooting down a ship and filling up your gauge is fully dependent on how far the ship is from you when you kill it. So you need a balance between filling up your gauge as fast as possible, which is killing all the ships. But if your gauge is at 7 and you kill ships while your gauge is full, there's a chance that you could eat up or not use those charges from the ships if you don't shoot your main missile at one of the 4 warships. So what I like to do is count how many I've gotten, and then once I'm at 7, I know I can shoot a couple more ships before the charges come back to me, before I can actually do a full missile shot on one of the warships. Okay, so I'll go through it. So I'm at 3 right now. So that's 4, 5, 6, and this is 7 right here. Actually, that was 8. So you can see how I already have 1, and I haven't even shooting anything. So that's 2, 3, 4. So I missed 1, which is never good. 5, 6. Okay, so that's 7. Actually, I did it again, didn't I? So you see how I ate 1 right there? So if I keep shooting one of these ones, see how I keep getting? But I only have 7. So I keep eating them. All right, so that's not good. So you want to make sure you count. So that's 2. Again, I've miscounted a bunch, but that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now that I have 7, I look to probably kill 1 or 2 and then shoot. And that should have like 3 already. 4, 5, 6, and then that's 7. And then I'm good now. And then shoot the last one. Okay, so another thing to mention is that there are invisible walls over here, near back there. So you just want to avoid shooting the ships in that area. And again, that was like a really bad example of me counting because I messed up counting a bunch. But that's essentially kind of the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to count them. And once you're done with that, you just long jump over here, and then you go into the taxi. And then you're done with Batalia. Okay, and then we do a long jump over here, and we can do the swing shot.
Copy that, Captain. We'll see you in a bit.
Get to your ship, and then we're going to go 1 down to Quartu. So while we're in Quartu, we don't have to do a ship animation skip. We can just skip a cutscene, and that usually happens, I believe, 7 seconds or so after the loading screen. But so I just spam options and the button to skip it. And from here, we're just going to do some long jumps to the right. Do some swing shots. Come over this way. Keep doing swing shots. There's a couple ways I'll show you how to do this. First thing I like to do is do a wrench cancel jump, and then a long jump. And then you can do a wrench cancel high jump up to this platform, double jump, and then jump on this lamp. Or the slightly easier way is if you come over this way, you can do a high jump onto here. And then you can either do a double jump to a long jump or a long jump to a long jump here. So like double jump, or a long jump, long jump. Come down here. And I like to go for these platforms here. Do a wrench cancel high jump off the ledge and then come up here. You can also just do the high jump from here, which is a lot easier, but that's the quickest way to do it. And then from here, we're gonna do a high jump aiming for there. So like that. And then we can do another high jump to this area. And then you can just do a double jump up here. As long as you aim slightly to the right, you should be good. I like to double jump over this invisible platform, do a wrench cancel jump to here, and then do a double jump to this invisible platform. There's essentially an invisible platform over every one of these little like rivets or whatever you call them in the tube. And then from here, you can do long jumps. And you have to like do your long jumps. You have to wait a little bit before you do your next long jumps, or you could end up either falling short or doing high jumps instead. That one takes a little bit of practice. Okay, so once you're right here, you're going to do another long jump, but during this long jump, you're going to want to switch your Protoclast to your Groovatron. This is the best time to do it in the run. And you're going to want to use your Groovatron for the fight against Quark. Okay? And the way to do that is as I'm doing my long jump, I just hold the up D-pad with my left index finger and then use the right thumb to move the joystick downward. So I'll show you, let me equip my Protoclast again. So as I'm doing it, boom, switch. It's pretty easy. It just takes a little bit to understand. If you do try to do a long jump like that without pressing the R1 button a bit as you're falling, that's going to happen. So just make sure as you're falling, you can tap R1 to not fall down as fast. Okay, to do a long jump there. The next part is I'm going to show you is the skip down to the Trespasser. So I aim for this lamp right here, which is slightly to the right of this pole or this tube. Okay, so this lamp right here. Okay, so you just keep going towards it. And the reason why we go this far out is so that we can go beyond the death barrier. Okay. Well, I've already lost my footing. Did I get to the right one? I think I did. So basically, you want to come over here like this, and then I just do a long jump to it, and you come down like that, and we go down this way like that. So you don't have to hold R1 until you pass the green area like that, and you want to come down this way. So if you come too forward after that lamp, you could hit the death zone and die. So you have to be careful that as you cross that lamp, you fall straight down for a bit, okay? Then you come down here into here. Okay, so once you're about right here, I do a long jump straight and then a long jump slightly left. Then I do a wrench cancel jump and then a wrench cancel high jump to the Trespasser. Okay, so long jump slightly to the left, wrench cancel jump, then high jump to the Trespasser, spam triangle, and then spam the auto hack, and then you'll get the Trespasser and you'll finish Quartu. Okay, and then you want to skip this cutscene, and then you want to go to your ship. You can get a thing called super speed there. It's a bit risky because you could basically just hold forward and a little bit to the left on your joystick, and you can potentially get to your ship and just hold triangle. It is a bit difficult to get, and it's kind of random, I believe, so I don't recommend it. But then once you're at your ship, then we're going to go down 1, and we're done with Quartu. And now we're going to start with the ship fighting, okay? So we skip that cutscene. The first thing we do is hold down on the left stick, on the left joystick. And then right after a little bit, then you're going to want to boost upwards. Okay, like that. Aim for these 2 areas. Come up here and just hold X or just wait for the cutscene. Because then all the ships below you will die. Okay, so here's Victor's ship. We're going to want to do a difficulty switch to hard. Right about now. Go into options, go to hard. Okay, so what I do is I hold down on the left joystick and I'm holding R2 to start shooting the regular gun at him. Wait just a little bit and then start spamming your missiles. And then as he's going forward, you want to kind of aim slightly down and to the right and keep spamming your missiles and holding down R2 to do as much damage to him, and you'll get the tractor beam skip. All right, so I'll show you. So we're gonna aim upwards a bit, and now start shooting your missiles at him, aiming slightly down to the right. Make sure you don't hit that obstacle, which I actually just did, which should still be okay. And then you skip the tractor beam and just kill him. Okay, and you're gonna skip this cutscene. And now we're gonna move with Clank. Okay, so Clank's punch cancels are a slightly different time than Ratchet's wrench cancels. So what I do is actually have my thumb on a curve and then flatten it out between square and X. It's a lot different than just dragging it from square and X. And also I like to stick to the right in this section because it's slightly faster. So the timing for the Clank's movement is slower, slightly slower than Ratchet. But you do want to still start the punches as he's hitting the ground. Okay, so you just keep going this way. Skip that cutscene and come down here. So now we're going to do a little clip. Okay, so we're going to grab this bot, switch it to a bridge, and throw it. Okay, you can do this. You can do this quickly. To grab it, you can still be moving and throw it, and then jump on it. And come to this bot, switch it down to a spring bot. So there's a couple different ways to do this. I'll try to show you different ways. You can either do a hyper strike throw or a regular just toss. I'll show you the toss. You want to line up so that Clank's foot is kind of like that. Or it's kind of not too precise. Kind of like that should be good. So you're going to want to press X and then press square to throw it. And then move left on the joystick and hold X so you can sizzle. And then as I'm in the air, I kind of move the right joystick or the camera to the right so I can see where I'm going. You want to land on a platform. Okay, so you're going to throw it, sizzle, and then land on this platform. All right, so again, you're holding X, moving left, and then using your thumb to move the right stick so you can see where you're going a bit. Okay, so that takes practice. And then you're going to come up here, right, in this invisible platform, jump up here, and up to here. All right, so I'm going to show you the other way to do it. Okay, I'm going to show the other method of doing this. It's basically the hyperstrike clip. So you just, as you're moving, you want to do square X square, like that. And you want to switch to spring bot, obviously, as well. Square X square. And you want to do this in a very similar angle, kind of like here, square X square. And then as you're sizzling up, you do the same thing, and then you make it to the same area. It's very simple. Very similar to the other method. Either one works. That one's slightly faster, and that one I kind of recommend more, but it's up to you. Come up here, do some punch cancels. And you're going to want to make sure you do like a double jump from here, because there is an invisible wall. And then you're going to want to land actually like right there, or to the right, slightly to the right. Okay. Another thing that you can do is to save 3 seconds here is to do a difficulty change. The second the subtitles where the pumps are online go away. So I do recommend playing with subtitles. Okay, so I'll show you, right? Pumps are online. Boom. Now we do a difficulty switch from hard to normal, and we should be able to skip the rest of that cutscene. Come over here, do some more punch cancels, and just hit the big red button. Or big green button. Okay, and then you're done with the Phoenix split. Okay? So now we're going to start the Deplanetizer.
Ratchet, Victor is down. What's your status?
I found a way
So in the Deplanetizer, we're just going to equip our Peacemaker, come over this way. Oop. Shoot it slightly early so you can open the door. Keep coming over this way. Again. Okay, so now we're going to do the Deplanetizer skip. You want to jump right here, up to here. And then you want to do a double jump and kind of face the wall like that. And you'll pretty much get that platform every time. Like that. Jump up here and do a double jump up to here. Okay, so I'll show you that again. Platform, double jump into the wall a bit. Okay, and then come up here. Okay. And then you can do a couple jumps here. So I'm going to show you the easiest way to do this. So the easiest way to do this is to do a setup. So you can jump right here, turn the camera, and then hold L2. Okay. And you want to jump to the left and then jump forward like that. And you want to get a sizzle, move to the left a bit, and then sizzle again up to here. You don't have to hold X for the sizzles. If you do it right, you'll get one sizzle kind of in the corner, slide down here and sizzle like around right there, and then come up here. Okay. So I'm going to do that again, but using the harder method. Alright, here is the setup list method, which is slightly harder. You want to single jump onto here. The camera angle is important, at least for me. And how I do it is I like to have it about at this camera angle. We're going to jump and aim for like right about there. And then we're going to do a double jump to the right afterwards. So jump, double jump, and then we hit it. It's the same thing, okay? So yeah, I would say that method is harder. It takes some more time to get used to. But once you get used to it, I do enjoy it a bit more. Okay, as we're coming over here, we're going to do a wrench cancel, double jump up to here. And then right away, you can do another wrench cancel jump. And I aim to near that first row of computers, slightly to the left. And as I'm falling, I kind of go more towards the right. And that's how to essentially ensure that the enemies spawn here. And once the enemies spawn here, you can use the Peacemaker to take them out. And then you also need to start shooting at the door to kill the enemies behind the door. Okay? So as I'm coming over here, do wrench cancel, fall that way and then move slightly this way, and that should spawn them. Because sometimes they cannot spawn if you don't fall right. And then you want to shoot this door. And then once you get the green ring around the door or the checkpoint, you can do a difficulty change. So again, you got to make sure you kind of land like, or at least cross this threshold here so they can spawn. Like, so if you like land here, sometimes they won't spawn. I don't know exactly where it is, but that's kind of what's worked for me. Okay, so now we do a difficulty switch. And we just start long jumping. And I'm going to switch to my Groovitron here. Okay, so you can keep long jumping and then up to here. And this is where we're going to do the elevator skip, okay? So the elevator will start moving regardless as long as you're on it for a certain period of time. So you can actually long jump off of it and trigger it to go. But it is a bit difficult. And you could die trying to do it this way. So the safest possible way to do this, it's not the quickest, but the safest way is to do a wrench cancel high jump as you're walking and do it like slightly after this big button, like right here or so. See, now that's too late. So that's fine. You can just go down to the bottom and that's fine. But just to show you, I'm going to do a difficulty switch and try it again. Okay, like that. So it's going, so it's fine. Fall down here and then do a long jump, and then you make it before the platform to the trespasser. Okay, so that is the safest way to do it. Because you can't die that way. Because if you go too early, like this, look. If you go too early, then you can always just come back. Okay? But the quickest way to do it is just to walk and then do a long jump off of it. And the timing for that is just walking, and I try to do a long jump kind of slightly after this big button in the middle. It is pretty difficult, but you kind of see that was too early, and then you're dead. So it's a risky strat. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. So I got it, but again, it's I would say it's almost frame perfect. I'm not really exactly sure, but the best thing I can say for that, for a tip for that, is just to walk and then get a feel for it, and usually you're jumping like around right there. See, that was too early. Like very slightly too early. See, that was good. It just takes time and practice to get it. Again, it only saves you 6 seconds, so if you don't want to mess with it, you can land on it. I recommend just doing the wrench cancel high jump method because it's the safest. Because if you're too early, you can come back. If you're too late, that's still okay. Okay, then you're going to come down and use the trespasser. And then auto hack it. And then you're going to want to skip the next cutscene, and we're going to fight Quark. Alright, so again, we use the Groovitron right away. Right here. Switch to the Rhino. Once you get him down at least past 70%, switch back. And that will cause him to throw his Groovitron as fast as possible, as long as you use your Groovitron first. So right after you break this Groovitron, throw yours. Switch back to the Rhino. Shoot him. And then switch back. Once he goes down to below 40%. You want to kind of aim a little bit downward so that your Groovitron spawns early. So throw it. Shoot him with the Rhino. And then now you don't have to switch back. You should be done. It should trigger the end of the fight. Sometimes it doesn't, and you just have to shoot him a little bit more. But you should be good at this point. Okay. Skip the cutscene, and then now we're finally at Dr. Nefarious. This part is easy, but trust me, I've lost runs on this part just for being careless. But you basically just jump and use your swing shot. You don't need to hit these out of the way, it's fine. So, swing shot. This is pretty self-explanatory. You can trigger these swing shots slightly early. Just make sure that you hold on to them long enough so you don't fall, because falling here can be pretty heartbreaking during a run. So like this one, you can start like right there. Again, it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, and then we're going to want to jump to the right one, skip the next cutscene, and then fly towards him with the Rhino. Get him down to about 70-something% or so. Wait for him to start doing that, and then shoot him again a bit. And then once he lands, shoot him down to about somewhere around 40% or so, even a little less, like 36 is fine. Once he throws these, shoot him again. And that'll trigger him going to this molten sun thing. Shoot him again once he starts doing that, and he's going to fall over here. It should be around 20-25%, and then get him down to 1%. And just, you can hold the shoot button, and then as he throws these, he's gonna end the game, and then once it fades to black, you done it. And that's the run. Again, I recommend still looking over some of my other tutorial videos if you want some more in-depth guides, but that is New Game Plus for Ratchet and Clank. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, there's a Discord channel, and speedrun.com has some resources for this game as well.